Hello, everybody, and welcome to the next in the series, Marketers on the Move. And I have one unbelievable lady to introduce you today. Her name is Mitali Deypurkaystha. Hello, Mitali.
Hello, Peter. How are you doing today?
I am doing very well, but more importantly, I am excited and delighted to have you with me today. I really am, okay?
Thank
From
you.
my heart to your heart. I really am.
Thank you. I feel it. I feel it. Thank you.
Okay, now before I start on your bio, and with your permission, I'll read it because my memory is not that good these days, okay? I just want people to know this before we even start, that Mitali is a rare person. She is a combination of enthusiasm, enterprise, energy, and empathy. And that is a pretty rare combination. So I'm hoping that when you watch this video, you see what I just shared with you, because you will know the way she answers the questions, that that's exactly the sort of person she is. She is truly quite an incredible talent. All right. So,
wow, what an intro. What an intro.
Oh, so here, with your permission, I'll read your bio. Okay. Mitali Deypurkaystha. Got it right? Yes, Deypurkaystha.
You got it right. Well done.
Yes. Is a leading copywriter and ghostwriter and is the creator of the Freedom Master Plan. I'll come back to that later on. That is transforming the lives of coaches, consultants, and entrepreneurs by showing them how to gain freedom from panic-induced selling. I love that idea. And constant marketing and attract their dream clients whilst building a passive income. And really, if you want to know something a little bit more, I'm going to add this in with your approval, Mitali. She helps entrepreneurs build 7-figure businesses without panicking about selling their stuff. That's the secret to her success. And that can be the secret to your success when you reach out to Mitali. Back to your bio. She has written 7, I'm impressed with that, 7 authority building books that have made her clients over 5 million in revenue. Wow. What a copywriter. She's also responsible for generating over 2 million for her clients through sales pages, adverts, and email marketing. She's a Dan Kennedy certified market copywriter. I'm a Dan Kennedy certified sales guy. So we're bit soulmates, right? She is an email copywriting master from the EPT Institute and holds an MA in journalism. And she's been featured, and I'm impressed with this. She's been featured on ABC, NBC, CBS, and Fox. And now she's featured with a little guy from Thailand called Peter Beck. Mitali is able to list every single US president forwards and backwards. Now, I'm impressed about that. After recently becoming obsessed with memory enhancement strategies. Okay. She's also a freelance journalist for several newspapers, and she won a script writing scholarship. Is that right? At the age of 16?
Yes. Yeah. I run a script writing scholarship, so I moved to Edinburgh for the summer.
Wow.
And I actually helped. This is showing my age a little bit, Peter, but I co-wrote an episode of Brookside, which is.
Wow.
So, yeah, I was very proud of that. It was my claim to fame at the time. I'd love to say I wrote the whole thing myself. It wasn't. It was a team of us, but a team of 16-year-olds co-wrote an episode for Brookside that actually aired. So we were quite proud of that.
That is awesome. Let me finish the bio.
Yes.
She was born and raised in Gateshead, United Kingdom, with Indian and Bangladeshi roots. So did I do okay with your bio?
You did really good justice to it. Thank you.
Okay. Now, do you mind if I ask you some questions?
Of course you can.
Okay. You knew I was going to say that anyway, right?
Exactly.
Okay. The first one is tell me a little bit about who you are and what you do. I mean, I've just shared a bio, but let's get a bit deeper, okay?
Yes. Okay. Well, as the bio said, I'm a copywriter and book mentor. I've written 7 books in the last 5 years. And what I'm currently doing is I'm mentoring coaches, consultants, and expert entrepreneurs on how to write an authority building book. And the reason why is over 5 years of writing all forms of copy, I found out this year that the piece of copy that's made the biggest difference to an entrepreneur has been a book. That's what's really elevated them. Because, well, let's face it, we're in the online world now. Everyone's writing blog posts, everyone's on social media, everyone's got a website. But how many people do you know who are a published author? Not that many. And
Good
that's
point
what
of,
really elevates people.
good point
So
of differentiation, right?
that's it. You know, if you're a life coach, you're a life coach. But if you're a published author and a life coach, you're no longer just a life coach. You are the life coach who wrote that book, who did this with this book. And you just elevate yourself. And yes, it's very interesting to go back to all of my clients in the last 5 years and find out that the one piece of copy that made the biggest difference to their business and elevated them to 7 figures has been the books that I've written. So that's what I now want to concentrate on and help more entrepreneurs, coaches, and consultants hit 7 figures.
Excellent. Here's my next question. And this, I really want to know the answer because I really am confused a bit.
Oh, what are you going to ask me?
Who are your stuffed friends, Mitali?
Oh, okay, my stuffed friends. Well, let me actually explain why. I need to explain this because sometimes I do wonder, people think, is she like a perennial child? You know, why is she a lady of this age still surrounding herself? Well, don't worry. I'm not one of these people that just collects cuddly animals every birthday and every Christmas or anything like that. These are, I just have 3, but they are to remind me or to stay with me because I take on strays and rescue animals a lot.
Wow.
It's just something I did. As you know, Peter, I lived in Phuket in Thailand for a while.
Yes.
And you will know in that country, lots of stray dogs and cats.
Absolutely.
And in Phuket, there's lots. And the one cat just turned up on my doorstep one day, bit me, had to go and get a rabies shot from the nearest hospital. But then she kept coming back and I just had to take her home with me to the UK. She unfortunately passed away earlier this year. I have another cat who at the moment has just have a reoccurrence of cancer. So I'm waiting on the vet right now. She's going to get back to me hopefully this afternoon to explain all the different chemotherapy options that we've got in front of us with the view to start on chemotherapy in next week or the week after. So I'm kind of used to having these gorgeous animals come into my life, but not live. And I think that's because they are strays, they are rescues. So they've usually been through trauma before they get to me. And it's something that I will carry on doing till the day I die. I'm never going to go to a breeder or anything like that. I'm always going to take on strays and rescues. So I'm going to have to, unfortunately, get used to them dying on me. So these are my pets that won't die. So I like surrounding myself with them. I'll introduce you. So this is my Jamaican tiger. So he's Rastiger.
Okay.
I like puns. You can tell I'm a bit of a writer.
Yes.
This is Bunny Golighty.
Right.
This is how I think Audrey Hepburn would look if she was a rabbit. And this dear fellow is Frank. Yes, no puns. I ran out of puns when I named him. I just didn't know what else to call him, and he looked like a Frank to me, so he's Frank. So I keep them around me just to make me feel like, well, at least these won't die and they'll stay with me. They're not going anywhere. And so that's kind of it. It's my happy place. This is where.
And I assume when you're doing coaching sessions with people, they ask you about them, obviously, right? Because they
all the time. Who are these? Why do you have them? You know, but it's my happy bubble. When I sit in this bit with them here around me, I just feel like whatever else is going on in my life, you know, finding out that I only found out just a couple of weeks ago that this one of my cats has got a recurrence of cancer, and it crushes you because your pets become like family.
They do.
So when I sit here, I just feel like I'm in my happy bubble and I'm okay.
Good on you, Tali. You got a beautiful heart. Beautiful heart.
Thank you.
I mean, I'm a dog lover rather than a cat lover, but I mean, who cares, right? Doesn't matter.
I love all animals.
Yeah.
Lizards, snakes, all of them. I love them all.
Well, this is your interview, not my interview, but I want to share one thing. I don't like snakes, right? Because
you don't?
No, because we had cobra snakes that killed our 2 beautiful dogs. So I have a real issue with that. Anyway, that's
gosh.
Enough of that. Now, more importantly, let's get back to you rather than me and my hang up about snakes, right?
Talking about pets.
Tell me, Mitali, what is your why? What gets you out of bed in the morning? What drives you?
Good question. Okay, so what drives me is I really want to be in service for coaches and consultants.
Mhm.
The reason why is in my 20s, so a long, long time ago now, but in my 20s, I kind of went off the rails a little bit. I left home. I'm in the northeast of England, which is where I was born. I left home and I ended up in Manchester, which is in the northwest of England.
Mhm.
And I think I just went, I don't want anyone to think that I didn't have a great childhood. I did. I had a fantastic childhood, great family, wonderful parents, very loving father and mother. But one who I think was quite strict on me. I think if anyone who's listening to this who comes from an immigrant family, they will understand that. There's
Mhm.
almost that I think parents feel they come to a new country and they want to assimilate, but at the same time they want to hold on to their roots.
Mm.
And they kind of make all their biggest mistakes with the eldest, and I'm the eldest of four. So they made all the mistakes with me. So there was no, you're not allowed to go out. No, you're not allowed to have a boyfriend. No, you're not allowed to really do anything apart from study hard. So when I had the chance to leave home, I just rebelled. Unfortunately, I rebelled too much. I went crazy. I ended up taking amphetamines, speed. That was the drug of choice back in 1997.
Mhm.
And I ended up on the streets. So things actually went from bad to worse very, very quickly. And looking back now, it's quite scary. At the time, I had no idea that I was on a knife's edge, that literally,
Mm.
if things had gone just slightly wrong, I don't know where I'd be right now. And the reason it didn't, the reason I was brought back from the brink was a team of wonderful therapists, mentors, coaches, a team of them over the space of a decade who really helped me, first of all, helped me kick the addiction, but also just rewired my brain and caused transformation in me as a person.
Right.
I'm still mentored and coached now. So I have a life coach now. I also have a business coach as well. I believe I'm going to be mentored and coached till the day I die. I think these people are wonderful.
Me too. I agree with that. Me too. We all need coaching.
Absolutely. They're wonderful people. And I actually wanted to be one. I even was trying to train as a psychologist. I worked in psychiatric wards for 5 years. And unfortunately, it broke me. I think coaches and consultants and mentors are very unique people. They're able to be empathetic on the one hand. You have to be a people person, to do that.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, they also have this protective bubble around them. So they don't take on someone's negative energy as well. You
Mm.
need to be able to reach out to someone, but also protect yourself. And
Mm.
that is the thing that I didn't have. I had empathy in buckets, but what I didn't have was that protective bubble. And it got to a stage where one of my best friends actually took me to one side a few years ago and said she was worried for my mental health. And she didn't think that I was on the right path anymore. So the
Right.
reason my why now is that unfortunately I can't be one of these angels that really helped me. But if I can't be one of them, at least I can be in service to those people. I heard a horrible statistic over the summer. Gosh, who was it from? It was from the International Coaching Federation.
Mm-hmm.
And they said that 82% of coaches and consultants will go out of business within 2 years. So that's 82% will go out. And I just remember thinking, that's criminal. That shouldn't even be allowed because these people, they're not just business owners. These people really are creating genuine transformation in people's lives. Like I said, I'm not sure where I would be if it wasn't for these people. And for 82% of those people, and this is a global statistic, by the way, so it's not just US or UK centric, it's globally.
Mm-hmm.
That just made me want to cry a little bit. It just made me think, oh my God, that's terrible. So if I can do something in some way to start bringing that statistic, I mean, in my head, I would like to bring that statistic down to 50%, which I still think is high because that's still 1 in 2 coaches going out of business. But
82% is unbelievable.
it's true. You can look it up. I mean, it's not it's definitely from the International Coaching Federation. 82% will go out of business within 2 years. And I truly believe That's not because they're not good at what they do. They're usually amazing at what they do. But you will know this is yourself as well, Peter, being a wonderful sales coach. With a lot of coaches and consultants, they're very good at what they do, but they're terrible at sales and marketing. And unfortunately, without sales and marketing, it doesn't matter how good you are at what you do. People don't know about you, and you will go bankrupt if enough
Because
people
they
don't
feel
know.
uncomfortable in not in promoting their services because it makes them feel like they're sleazy and salesy. Is that right?
They've got a very, you know this, a viewpoint of sales,
Yeah.
which is that it's bad. Whereas you and I both know when it's done correctly, it isn't. I always say, there's a saying I say, selling is like toupees. You only notice the bad ones. And it's true.
Yeah.
I have so many men who say to me, I would never wear a toupee if I was balding. I was like, well, how do you know? It's like, well, they look stupid that you can tell they're wearing it. It's like, that's because you noticed it. There's so many men wearing toupees, but they're so wonderful. You just think they've got a lovely head of hair.
That
So
is
it's the same
very
thing with
clever
selling.
analogy. That is
It's a
really
very same
good.
thing with selling. When selling is done correctly, it's a beautiful thing. It's an exchange. You use it perfectly. You call it conversational selling, and that's what it is. It's having conversations with somebody.
It's called serving people, not selling them, right?
Exactly. And when you do it through that way, it's a beautiful thing. And both people feel validated and good about the transaction that's just happened. But we only remember the bad sales, the double glazing salesman, the door-to-door salesman, the pushy person on a call center.
Yeah.
That's what you remember. You don't remember all these wonderful selling experiences that you've had because they didn't feel like selling. And my way of solving that problem is, if you have a book out, if you're a published author, you base everything on the book. I've got one client who insists that everybody reads his book before they get on a call with him. So by the time they get on the call with him, they're pre-sold. They kind of already know what this guy's all about. They're already convinced he can help them. It's a case of really just now, as you said, conversational selling, just finding out exactly what this person needs and tailoring his program to suit that person. It's a beautiful conversation. He feels no pressure. They feel no pressure. It works. So that is my why. I sound a bit like a one-woman army. I'm not sure if I'm strong enough, but I'm going to do my best to try and get that 82% down, because I just think that's crazy that many people who are doing amazing transformative work are finding themselves bankrupt within 2 years.
Mitali, you're blowing me away with your transparency. You've shared some personal things today that are extraordinary. And that's the reason why I think many people will love you and reach out to you, because what you see is what you get with you. There is nothing else, right? It's
You have to
exactly it.
be. You have to be in this, especially if I'm asking people to write books. And the books that I get people to write, they're not dry textbooks from a university. Yes, they're educational, they're business books, but I also ask them to open up, because that's what people respond to see the human behind the published author. So, I can't ask people to do that. I can't ask my students to do that if I don't open up myself and let people see the real me, warts and all. And there are warts, trust me, but I have to be authentic.
Guilty as charged. Me too. Tell me something. One question without notice to you. What is the biggest challenge, Mitali, you have in being a mentor, a book mentor?
My biggest challenge in being a book mentor, I would say some people just don't realize how good they are. In fact, most of them. I've spoken to so many coaches and consultants, and there's some of them will think, well, I need to have a certain qualification, then I'll be good enough to be a published author. Some people will say, I need to have been doing this for a certain number of years, then I'm okay to be a published author. Some people might say, some people even it's an age thing. I've spoken to coaches, amazing coaches who are in their 20s, and they feel they wouldn't be taken seriously unless they're well into their 30s or 40s. And it's their own self-limiting belief. I have one client that I wrote a book for, a wonderful gentleman who only had 20 months experience in his coaching business, executive coach now. And he actually just had the nerve and the audacity, should I say, to be a published author after just 20 months within his business. And then he managed to surpass all the other executive coaches within his field who had more experience than him. And it's just, when do you give yourself, you have to give yourself permission for greatness. And I will do my best to motivate you, but ultimately it has to come from you. And there has been some would-be students I've had to turn away, because I just, after a while, I felt like it was draining me. I was just constantly having to say, look, I wouldn't even take you on as a student if I didn't think you were amazing whatever you do. And I work with a broad range of coaches and consultants. So life coaches, executive coaches, strategy consultants, IT consultants, fitness consultants, broad range. But whatever they're doing, they're causing amazing transformation in their clients' lives. And I think that should be in a book. I really do. But I've had to let some students go, because after a while, I just felt like I was constantly saying, you're amazing, you're amazing, you're amazing. And there's so many times I can keep saying you're amazing before I start going, oh my God, this person doesn't believe in themselves. So that would be the most frustrating thing, because I can see it. I can see their greatness. And yet in their head, they're still thinking they just need to get that one thing, whatever it is in their head, and then they'll be good enough to be a published author. And I say, well, you're good enough now. Why not do it now?
So really, Mitali, being a book mentor is quite a personal thing, because you're dealing with people's feelings of worthiness for a starter, right? In many cases, is that right?
Absolutely, because people do believe, and this is a correct belief, that published authors are a big deal. Because like I said before, I said 10 minutes ago, everyone has a website, everyone is blogging, everyone is posting social media, everyone's doing stuff like that. But how many people actually have a published book out? And when I talk about published book, I'm talking about a proper published book, not a 50-page book that you've knocked up and stuck on Kindle somewhere on Amazon. I'm talking about a book that's the real deal. It looks professional, the kind of book that opens doors for you, gets people from radio stations or podcasters or TV channels, even local TV channels, wanting to contact you and say, hey, can you give us 5 minutes, that kind of thing. They're not going to do that for a 50-page Kindle book that looks like a 17-year-old wrote it in his summer off, that kind of thing. Yeah. So it's a personal thing, because I get very involved with my students. They're creating amazing work, and I want to get the best out of them. This book has to elevate them and take their business to the next level. The thing I've noticed between sort of high 5 figures and 6-figure coaches and consultants and 7-figure coaches and consultants is the ones who are earning 7 figures are not necessarily better at what they do. The gentleman that I wrote a book for, who had 20 months experience, he, after the book was published and after a year of leveraging it, he went to 7-figure business, and he was able to charge 5 to 10 times more than what his peers were charging per hour. Now, between you and me, did in the space of 12 months he become 10 times better as a coach? Of course he didn't. It was the perceived value of working with someone who was a published author. So it's very personal to me, because, I see him and I just think he could have been out of business by now. Statistically, he was, when he met me, he was 20 months into his business. So statistically, he should be out of business by now. And he's doing great guns. He's got a 7-figure business. So it's very personal to me, because I need to get on for my personal reputation. I need to make sure.
So you're not only good at what you do, but you're proud of the impact you can make on people, right?
Yes, it's the ripple effect. I help that person, who then go on to help all of their clients. Those clients are better people, so they go on to be better people in their families and their relationships. It's a ripple effect that carries on throughout the world.
That's why I said you're enterprising, you're enthusiastic, you're energetic, and you're empathetic. That's what you are.
Thank you.
People are lucky to be able to contact someone like you.
Thank you.
I really do hope that people reach out to you, because you are a rare resource. There's no doubt about you, Mitali. And you live and breathe with your clients. I mean, you already expressed that. I can feel it in the conversation I'm having with you, right? So let me lead to my last question, because I've held you long enough. And thank you for your time.
No, it's okay.
Tell me something. What is the Freedom Master Plan?
Okay. So, as you know, I've already written 7 books as a ghostwriter. I've written my 8th book in the last few weeks. The first, it's called The Freedom Master Plan. Quite nervous and excited because it's my 8th book, but the first one with my name and face on it. So it's like, oh my God.
Ooh, right.
I know. I'm so used to writing things and other people taking the credit for it, you know. So for the first time, it's like, oh my God, my name and my face is going to be on this book. So I'm very excited, but nervous as well. But what the Freedom Master Plan is, these 7 books that I've written, I went back to these clients and I spent several days with each of them over the summer. And I asked them to detail exactly what they did with their book to take their business to the next level. Because they use so many different strategies. There isn't just a one size fits all. Because some people, for example, might use a book to get speaking gigs. But on the other hand, some people might think I'd rather be dead than speak in front of people. You know, isn't it one of the, isn't it? It's a bigger fear. Most people fear public speaking more than they fear death or something like that. So asking some people to speak, it would be a terrible thing to do to them because that's not what they want to do. So what the Freedom Master Plan is, it's my book that's going to be released in 4 weeks' time. And it chronicles the stories of these 7 entrepreneurs, coaches and consultants, and what they did with the book, how they leveraged the book. And who this is aimed for is for coaches and consultants, 2 groups of people. One are people who have never thought of writing a book. And I want them to see, just get their creative juices flowing, to see how a book might fit into their business and what it could do to elevate their coaching and consultancy business. And the other group of people is, I've met so many coaches and consultants who have written a book, spent a lot of money on a book mentor like me. But unfortunately, what the book mentor did is help them write a book and then disappeared into the sunset. They never taught the coach or consultant how to leverage the book, because your book could be amazing, but if you don't know how to leverage it, then the word doesn't get out about this amazing book. So the Freedom Master Plan shows you how to leverage a book. It goes through the stories of these 7 coaches and consultants and all the different tips and tricks and strategies they used to leverage the book that built their business to 7 figures.
Right.
So it's kind of like my gift to coaches and consultants. It goes through the 4 main issues that I've found that coaches and consultants have. The first big one, and you'll agree with me on this one, Peter, they hate selling. They can't stand selling. It's something that really sticks with them. So it shows, my book will show them how to not eliminate selling, but take it to exactly what you say, which is conversational selling. So via a book. So when you've got a book and people read your book before they come to you on your sales calls, they're not even sales calls anymore, because they tend to be already pre-sold into who you are and what you can do for them.
Yeah, I mean, your soulmates. I mean, the idea is to help people make the right buying decision for them, right? Not what you think. Yeah.
Exactly. And a book really helps you do that before they even get onto a
That's
phone
what's
call.
going through my head. Absolutely.
Yeah, they kind of go, what this client of mine finds is, he says 40% of people who book calls cancel on him, which he's more than happy with, because they were the time wasters and tire kickers anyway. He used to spend time with those people, an hour, sometimes 2 hours, for them to go, let me think about it. Those people now just cancel because they can't be bothered. They don't have the patience to read a book. But the 60% that do turn up on his phone calls, they're pre-sold. It's a case of, just dotting the I's, crossing the T's, working out how it all works together.
And what you're saying is, you not only, I mean, the book, Freedom Master Plan, will give them some of these things, but if people wanted to work with you directly, Mitali, is that still possible?
Absolutely. What it is, the Freedom Master Plan shows you how to leverage a book. So if you've already got a book, you don't even need to work with me. Just get the Freedom Master Plan.
My point is, you could help them.
Yes, for those who don't have a book and they're thinking, wow, I could really use a business book in my business to help elevate it, but you don't know where to start. You're not a writer. You don't know how to build a book to, put a book together. Contact me and I can mentor you to write a book within 60 days.
In 2 months?
In 2 months.
Wow.
I can get it out. Trust me, I can. I've done it. I can get it out of you in 60 days.
And then you would help them with the marketing of that, give them ideas how to do it?
Absolutely. That's one of the
So it
key
doesn't
unique
just sit
selling points.
on their mother's shelf as the only customer?
Exactly. And that's what the Freedom Master Plan is. Well, that's why I wrote that book, because I was speaking to so many coaches and consultants who have already written a book, but they haven't leveraged it. So yes, the Freedom Master Plan, my book, will show you exactly, you just pick the strategies you like. I'm not saying do all of them. There's 20 plus strategies in there. You'll go
I'm going to buy
crazy.
your book. I'm going to buy your book.
Thank you so much.
I will. I
But
mean,
yes,
the
anybody who
important thing
hasn't.
is, yeah, but the important thing is, I'm thinking I'm now got a marketing hat on, right? I'm thinking the Freedom Master Plan is the perfect, when they read that, it's the perfect reason why they should work with you.
It is. Because basically, once you've got a book, I mean, the reason why I called it the Freedom Master Plan is it gives you freedom from the 4 main issues that I see coaches and consultants have. First one being hate selling and marketing. Second one is the completely tired and overwhelmed with content marketing and social media.
Right.
Keep being told you have to post every single day. You need to be on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And you're just thinking, I've got a business to run. How the hell do I do all of that? And run it's too much. They want to scale to 7 figures, but they don't want to work even longer hours than they already do. They would like to work less hours. And they're also frustrated with clients that are just a bad fit for them. And the Freedom Master Plan shows how to leverage a book so you get freedom from all of those issues. So
Brilliant.
that's why it's called the Freedom Master, to give them real
brilliant.
freedom in their business.
Okay, thank you. I will be one of your very first customers. I'm looking forward to reading this book, and it's coming out pretty soon, right? Within the next few weeks. Is that correct?
I haven't set a date yet, but I'm looking at within 4 weeks.
Okay,
So
within 4
I
weeks.
should have all the details to you in the next couple of weeks, I would think.
Okay.
So
So for those who are watching this video, I'll put on the screen the ways that you can contact Mitali, okay, including how to personal message her on Facebook. Mitali, thank you. Thank you very much for sharing your time with me. I have truly enjoyed this, and I hope that people can see what an unbelievable talent you are. I could not recommend people more highly to you.
Thank you so much, Peter. I really appreciate it.
Okay, many blessings from Thailand, and thanks for sharing your time with me.
Thank you. Bye.